Perek Cheskas Habatim, Daf Mem Beis, sponsored the Refuah Shlema for Bava Basra. The Gemara begins with the question, can three purchasers establish a chazaka? The Gemara states, according to Rav, three owners can establish a chazaka as long as the present occupant can prove all the sales were documented. This publicizes them. The original owner can no longer claim the property rapidly changed hands out of fear. He had no reason to protest. Rav distinguishes between the sale of property and loans by document or in the presence of witnesses, and how it relates to protests of occupation. Number one, sales. Rav stated one who sells land in the presence of witnesses can guarantee his purchase by obligating to pay in the event his creditor collected the purchaser's land. His purchaser in turn may collect even from his other sold properties, not because a sale in the presence of witnesses is as public as one documented, but had the additional buyers investigated, they would have uncovered the existence of the seller's guarantee. By failing to investigate, iu afsidu anafshayu, they caused their own loss. Number two, protest. The original owner, assuming his property changed hands rapidly as a sign of fear, had no reason to investigate a connection between the three occupants. Had the sale not been documented, he would not have been required to protest. 3. Loans. A borrower requests witnesses not to publicize his loan. Prospective customers, aware of his debts, offer him less money for his property. Therefore, a seller's guarantee cannot be collected from other purchasers unless the loan was documented. However, when one sells property, he publicizes his sale to encourage more bids. Therefore, even unrecorded sales with seller guarantees can be uncovered through investigation by prospective buyers. The Gemara lists an exception to the rule: a documented sale is public knowledge. One occupied a property 3 years uncontested by a father 1 year, the son a 2nd year, and a purchaser from the son the 3rd year. The documented sale by the son should constitute a protest to the occupant to maintain possession of his document. In spite of this, the Brisa states the occupant establishes a chazaka. The Gemara answers the heir sold his whole inheritance without specifying the occupied property. Such a documented sale is not public knowledge. Now we move on to a new Mishnah. The Mishnah lists those who cannot establish chazakas even with a 3-year uncontested occupation. Number one, craftsmen. The rule hamotzim echavero olav araya does not apply to them. People leave their property with them for repair. Number two, partners, sharecroppers, administrators. These three have a legitimate right to occupy another's property. The Gemara mentions two other versions of our Mishnah. Avud Shmuel v'Levi, their version of the Mishnah mentions only partners, not craftsmen. Since partners tend to buy out one another, there is reason to assume one could acquire with a 3-year occupation. The Mishnah teaches this is not true. Without a document, they have no claim, certainly not craftsmen. Shmuel, his version of the Mishnah mentions only craftsmen, to infer partners can acquire with a 3-year occupation. However, another statement of Shmuel classifies a partner as a shutav kiyored bishus, similar to a sharecropper who is entitled to enter the property of the owner. The Gemara brings 3 distinctions. A. The nachis lekula. Partner occupied the whole field for 3 years, depriving the other partner of an annual profit. He would not tolerate such an arrangement unless he sold his share. The nachis lepalga, if one partner used half, even the better half, it does not indicate he purchased it because each receives annual profits. The difference balances out over years. B. The nachis lekula. Partners are not concerned about annual profits, therefore one partner occupied for 3 years does not constitute a chazaka. The nachis palga, once a partner decides he prefers an annual profit, he would not consent to collecting inferior quality for 3 consecutive years. C. Ravina. Both statements of Shmuel concern a case of nachis lekula. Yesh bo din chaluka. The property is large enough to divide. One partner would not tolerate his use of the whole property for 3 years. The partner's uncontested occupation indicates he purchased his partner's share. If it is too small to divide, it is common to take turns using it. The Gemara questions why Shmuel did not simply state in his second statement, Shutav ein lo chazaka, but he says, Ki yored b'shus. Shmuel by this statement distinguishes a partner from an illegal occupant. Even though the partner cannot establish a chazaka, he is entitled to shevach hamagil lit kefayim u'v'sadeh she'ein asuy lita, a share of fully grown produce and a sharecropper's percent, even if he did not plant the field's usual crop, as opposed to an illegal occupant who must return produce he consumed and is entitled only to his expenses. Other relationships unable to establish chazakas with 3-year occupations are husbands and wives. A husband is entitled to the nichsei muluk, the produce of her land during their marriage. A wife is supported by her husband, allowing her access to his fields. Number 4, fathers and sons, they administrate each other's properties. In these cases, one cannot claim an ownership of the other's property without a document. The Gemara distinguishes between chazak as a presumptive title and an act of acquisition. One who minimally locks, fences, or breaches property given or share of a dissolved partnership or ownerless property of a deceased convert acquires. If you're enjoying Daf 5, please click on the link below, subscribe, and become a sponsor. Thank you.